The best of the Morning X.
99X.
The pilot of the commuter plane that crashed in Carrollton yesterday is being praised as a hero. Passengers and witnesses say Ed Ganaway saved lives through his skillful handling of the crippled turboprop. 25 people survived the crash. Ganaway and 4 passengers were killed. We have one of the survivors on the telephone right now, David McCorkle.
Hi, David. How are you?
Pretty good.
Now, David's from Northfield, Minnesota, and we're happy to say we're speaking to you in your hotel room, which means you're not hospitalized, so that's good news.
Very good news.
Yes.
And you've probably been asked it a million times. Can you take us through exactly what happened from beginning to end, from your eyes?
Well, it was just an innocent little flight that we were trying to take, and we soon got in the air, and all of a sudden we felt a jolt, and the left engine quit.
Did it pop, or did it just,
I had just kind of dozed off. It felt like a real hard hit, more than like what you would expect with turbulence.
Could you tell something was wrong, or did you think it was maybe just something routine?
Well, I fly a lot for business, and I knew it wasn't routine, and I could see the engine had stopped, and the wing, was all bent up.
because it's very loud already on those small commuter planes.
Yes.
Now, at that point, who made an announcement, the pilot or the flight attendant?
Well, the flight attendant looked out her window and saw what was going on, and she calmed everyone down and said, we have no problem. We have a good engine. Of course, everyone's looking at the right engine then and making sure that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that seemed to run just without without skipping a beat. It kept on going.
So no panic set in. It seemed to be, everyone was kind of calm.
Yeah, everyone was in real good spirits. We went through the routine of what we have to do for preparing to crash, and everyone that was near exits were asked if they could handle it. And, one lady said she didn't want to do it, so she moved to the back, and another gentleman took her place.
Now, it seems from how you're describing it that there was no real panic situation, yet did everybody realize the plane was going down?
Not at all. We weren't up very long, 15 minutes, and then he says, the pilot through the flight attendant said, it looks like we're going to have to turn around and go back to Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
And kept telling us, well, we can land with one engine. So, everyone was figuring maybe it'd be a real hard landing.
Mm-hmm.
And she told us, this is going to be a hard one. And I didn't, I should know better, but we weren't anywhere near the airport, because right at the end she says, now, everyone get their heads down, because this is going to be a hard one. And then I looked, I of course didn't keep my head down, and I looked, and the left wing was way down when we started hitting the trees, and then I put my head down.
And did that, you think, you must have thought that was the last time you were going to ever put your head down?
Yeah, then all you feel is, just jumping and sliding and a lot of pressure.
What was happening inside the plane? What was going on at that point? You put your head down. Was everybody screaming and just out of control, or was it just like everyone put their head down and just prayed?
Well, I tell you, I never saw the guy next to me. I was on a 2-seat side, and he didn't say anything. Before, we were just joking around because something flew off the engine when it blew up. And he says, I wonder where that's going to land. Because we weren't panicking. But at the end, it was real quiet as far as I can remember.
This is after it's already hit the ground.
And then when it hit the ground, and then I looked up, and I couldn't believe it. And there was all I could see was the light. Of course, you get kind of tunnel vision, and broken and open. And I hadn't seen any fires or anything. I really expected to see a fire. So I unbuckled and I got out. I think I was third person out of the plane.
We're talking to David McCorkle, a survivor from the plane crash yesterday.
Did it seem, when you finally landed and you were bouncing around and sliding, did it seem like it went on forever, or did it go by quickly?
Well, I can remember all of it, and it seems like when I replay it was in slow motion.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of yesterday felt that way.
When a lot of the survivors that we've been watching on TV have said that there were a lot of people whose clothes had caught on fire.
Yeah, that was the big thing. I expected after I came out of the plane, I'd see 20 people come running out behind me, and that didn't happen. So there was a major in the Air Force, Chuck, and me and another cadet that just started, and we turned around, looked at the place, and it wasn't burning, so we came running back and started telling everyone to get out of there. I think there were a lot of stunned people.
Mm-hmm.
The flight attendant was real good. I think she broke her arm, and she was, out there, and it wasn't very long, and the fire started, and people were ripping their clothes off because you couldn't get the fire out by rolling.
Mm-hmm. Was it like the pilot had control? I mean, almost to the ground, and then just lost it, the engine, or because I'm trying to figure, is that what happened?
How controlled was the landing? Could you tell?
It was absolutely. We were talking. There's 6 of us at this hotel that survived, and last night we were talking. We said, he never lost that right engine, but I've been on planes with turbulence before, and when I saw that left wing dip down, I said, he's not going to recover from this. And luckily we didn't spin or anything, because I think that wing started hitting stuff, and then we went down, because he just couldn't. Maybe he lost his flaps on the left wing or something. He couldn't recover once that left wing went down.
A lot of these survivors have been talking about how the pilot, Ed Ganaway, was a real hero, that he helped a lot of people. Did you see any of this?
As soon as I got out and I pulled some people off the wing on the right, the co-pilot had a little hatchet. He was poking a hole through there, and he handed me the hatchet to help him because he couldn't swing from the inside. I never heard the pilot, but he was in there, and there was smoke coming out because the fire was going from the back to the front, and they couldn't get his door open out the back.
Right.
So I went and wailed on that till the hatchet head fell off.
The pilot did die in the crash, and I don't know if you even knew that or not.
The co-pilot?
The pilot.
I knew the pilot because I never heard him.
Yeah, they couldn't get him out, and I don't know if it was because of the crash or smoke inhalation.
And he's responsible for a lot of the people being alive. You being one of them.
Have you been watching the news?
No, I hadn't. I saw some of it last night.
So are you married?
No, I'm not.
But you have family, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah, I talked to my parents and my 2 sons and my sister and brother.
It is amazing after looking at the pictures that there were as many survivors. I mean, it's just torn in half.
Yeah, it's torn in half, and of course now it shows all burnt out, but there was a lot more plane there while we were working on it and trying to free people and get them out.
When you got as far away from the plane as you were going to walk, and you turned around and you looked at it, what went through your head?
It felt like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Thought you were on a movie set.
Yeah, it was just unreal.
I mean, could you even sleep last night?
I was surprised. I mean, I had gotten some medication I finally took and dozed off about midnight, and I think the medication, it says right on there, helps get you drowsy, so I was helpful for that.
People, of course, are going to want to know how hard it's going to be for you to get back on a plane and fly home to Northfield, Minnesota today.
Well, I probably logged 500,000 miles in the last 6 years because I travel for business.
Have you ever thought of this before? I mean, did you ever think this would happen to you?
Every time I fly, I think about it. I look out the window and wonder, could one little contraption, something go wrong, and then what happens?
Did you ever think about it, David?
Well, I've had emergency landings before, but the smaller planes do get me a little scarier than the big planes.
Yeah, I don't like those small planes, and I don't care if they're Cessnas or
You keep hearing more and more about problems with them.
Yeah. Have you been a religious man your whole life?
I am now.
You are now. That is not a surprise.
Divine intervention.
There had to be something, because if that plane hadn't broken open, I don't know if anyone could have gotten out, because we couldn't get the exits open, from the outside, or trying to help people once some of us were out. But because everything crumpled, and it opened like an eggshell, and we were so fortunate to be able to get people out. Later on, of course, there was fire right at the exit, or where everyone was trying to get out, and that, to me, was the worst. That's things people shouldn't see.
We're glad you're all right, David. David McCorkle from Minnesota in the ASA crash yesterday, a survivor.
Thank you for talking with us.
Thanks a lot for coming on with us, David.
You betcha.
Goodbye.
Bye now.
The best of the morning X.
If you're listening to sports,
if you're looking for an edge rusher, looking for a run stuffer, you're looking for a big-time player in the middle of your defense, you're in luck.
Mixed with pop culture, sprinkled with celebrity interviews.
You hated the title Everybody Loves Raymond.
That's true.
Is it appropriate for you to tell people to hurry it up?
It's appropriate on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Bill Burr is here.
I want to know who you defeated to get that title as best dad ever.
I'm the Gonzaga of dads.
And you're enjoying the Rich Eisen Show podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.